Okay, so Chris, new head coach of Thunder. It's great to have you on board. Just how have you found sort of your first few sessions working with the squad?
Yeah, it's been great. Really pleased to be here. It's a wonderful setting at Emirates Old Trafford. The support we've got from the club has been fantastic, and I mean, it's a great group of girls who are really keen to learn. So I'm excited to take things forward.
You sort of touched on it there, but when you heard that the position was available, what was it that attracted you to Thunder and made you want to apply?
Yeah, I think that obviously the size of the role, the size and scope of the role here, the fact that we have the backing of of Lancashire and obviously the region, and we're based here out of fantastic stadium. So it's in a fantastic place. I think the work that Paul Shaw's done over the last 3 years since the Thunder has been was set up as one of the 8 professional teams has been fantastic. There's a good academy and EPP running below the main squad, and it's a wonderful opportunity to develop as a head coach. There's not many professional head coach roles in the UK that come up for grabs, and one of this one of this magnitude was obviously going to pique my interest.
You did a bit of work pre-Christmas, and then sort of since January the 1st, the work's really started. What sort of position have you found the squad in? What have you sort of made of the early sessions? I guess everyone's been chomping at the bit to impress.
Yeah, it's been really good. We've got a couple of injuries to contend with, but generally the whole squad is together at the minute. It was great to see sort of England players like Emma Lamb today and Kate Cross joined in our fielding session, so they've been around a little bit too, and it's always a real boost when they're around to the rest of the squad, I feel. And looking forward, pre-season, we've got a lot of good things looking ahead. Couple of girls are going to be going to New South Wales and playing some cricket out there. Ellie Taylor and Fee Morris. Tara Norris is already in Australia, and we've got a squad camp out in India very shortly, as well as a pre-season to look forward to. So, in terms of preparation, we're really well set and looking forward to the next couple of months.
So this is sort of your first major head coach role, but in your post-playing career, you've done quite a bit of assistant coaching work within the women's game. Just talk us through a little bit about sort of your coaching journey so far.
Yeah, I mean, of late, really, I've worked in the women's game at sort of franchise level with the Trent Rockets, and then most recently in the women's Big Bash with Hobart Hurricanes. I suppose in the preceding years, I've done a fair amount of work in the men's game as well, working with the ECB. As a wicket-keeping consultant, working with the under-19s program as well, men's program. So I think that certainly in the last few months, the experience of the women's Big Bash has been really great in terms of seeing how different teams, different squads operate a different competition in the country that has probably been leading the way in women's cricket for a little while.
And what would you say as a head coach sort of is your vision? Do you have like a specific brand of cricket that you'll be sort of impressing on the squad?
Yeah, I would certainly. I love a positive brand of cricket. I'm encouraging. I really want to encourage them to play with no fear, but also to be smart in what they do. Ultimately, we go into every season with 2 competitions to fight for. We're one of 8 teams, and we've got a 1 in 8 chance of winning. And I'd rather be at the pointy end than not.
And obviously a long and distinguished playing career with Notts as captain, spells with England as well. What do you think you've transferred sort of from your days as Notts captain now into your coaching career?
I think there's a lot to be transferred from the 10 years I did leading Nottinghamshire, and ultimately as captain you're trying to win games of cricket, you're trying to win trophies, and I think that head coach role really I'll take a similar philosophy into that essentially. We're here to compete, we're here to win, and I want to build a squad that is comfortable in doing that and competing with the best teams in the country.
And current captain is Ellie Taylor, obviously a wicket keeper as well. So you must be really looking forward to a positive relationship with her, and sort of anything you can pass on from your playing days as captain and wicket keeper that you can sort of impart on her as well.
Yeah, I think I'm only a week into the job, but the relationship with Ellie is going to be crucial, and it's. I already feel that she's a fantastic leader, even at the young age that she is. Having been in post as captain here for a little while now, And whilst I really want to help develop her as a captain, I also want to develop her as a player and her individual aspirations to go on to potentially higher honours, because she's an exceptional cricketer.
And in terms of your backroom staff, you've got Stephen Parry, who's sort of stayed on from the last regime. Craig White has now moved over from Thunder into the Lancashire men's setup. But is there sort of any plans to bring anyone else in onto that side?
So we're currently advertising for a role of assistant coach with a specialism in fast bowling, in pace bowling. So we'll be looking forward to some high quality applicants for that role. I think the support coaches, we're really well catered for here. I've seen there's some exceptional people working below with the academy, with the EPP, and also in Lancashire cricket. So I've been able to call upon them in the last week, and they've been a great help.
And in terms of the near future, several members of the squad and some coaching staff, including yourself, are off to Mumbai for a spin camp. Just tell us a little bit about that trip, sort of what the players will be looking to get out of it, and also you as a head coach, what you'll be looking to see from them.
Yeah, I mean, from my point of view, it's a great opportunity for me to get to know players, a lot better in a 10-day trip, where obviously we'll be working very closely together. So from my point of view, that's a really great opportunity. From a cricketing standpoint, you go to the subcontinent, and there's so many opportunities to learn and develop your game. We are focusing this year on playing spin bowling. We're taking spin bowlers with us. We're taking batters with us. We know how big the part of spinners it plays in the women's game. So we want to be at the forefront of developing our batters to be equipped to cope with that, but also our bowlers to be up there with the best in the country.
Just how challenging is it in India? You played out there yourself. It feels like it's a completely different. Well, it is a completely different scenario to over here. But just how difficult of a challenge is it?
Well, I mean, essentially, it's a training camp. So we will play some training matches, but it's about getting what we need to get out of that. India, cricket for them over there is a religion. It's an amazing country to visit, amazing country to play professional sport, to play cricket in. So, the opportunity these girls have to learn and to grow over the next 10 days is going to be huge. We'll be lucky enough to tap into local resources with their everyone plays cricket over there, so we'll have net bowlers and people on hand to help us with our training sessions, and a real opportunity to get to learn some new skills, but also to get the volume of batting and bowling under their belts on grass in January is something that not many sides get to do. So really looking forward to that.
I was just going to say, after sort of the block of training from before Christmas, it must sort of, the indoor training and the weather over here, it must take its toll. So it must be really nice for the girls to get out there in the sun, the chance to get out on the grass as well. It must really sort of boost morale.
Yeah, I think obviously we're only taking 10 of the squad, so we'll be leaving 5 behind to work here, and they'll be predominantly the seam bowlers. So they'll have a little sort of mini camp at home of themselves, really, to work closely with the coaches back home and get a little bit more one-to-one time. That said, at this time of year, they have had a good block of indoor work, where they've worked hard on their skill development, they've worked hard on their fitness, and any opportunity we can to get out on grass and to test ourselves in real world conditions, I think is exceptionally valuable. So we've got this trip and then pre-season alongside the men in March, and like I said earlier, we're really well. We should be really well prepared leading into April.
And with the likes of sportsbreaks.com and Inspire Sport, they're providing some additional funding for Thunder, and this Mumbai trip is part of that additional funding. It must be brilliant for you as a head coach to have that support, and there's people that really want to grow the game and give the players as many opportunities as possible.
Yeah, quite frankly, it's phenomenal. I mean, I've been blown away with the support from the sponsors and from the club as it is that's going into the Thunder program right now. Like I said, these opportunities, they're not out there for every team. They're not out. The girls are exceptionally lucky. It just shows that the support for the Thunder program is exceptional, unprecedented perhaps in this country.